testing. Testing and testing. Testing and testing. Let me know if you're ready. So good evening to those who are tuning in. We wish everyone Shana Tova Umtuka. To test the equipment for the live stream, I'm going to give a little sermon to tell a little story. This is not new for this year, but it's the kind of story I think resonates with us every year. And this story is told in many settings. Some say it takes place in dynastic China, some in the court of the Ottoman Sultan. It has been placed by some in the pen of Herodotus the historian, and by others in the mouths of medieval bards. I've never heard it attributed to a Jewish source, but even so, it captures the challenge of these days well. It's a simple story. There was once upon a time a thief who had been captured and was set to be executed. As he was being led away to his unhappy destiny, he made an unusual proposal to the king. He said, "Spare my life, Your Majesty, and I will teach your favorite horse to sing." The king was intrigued, and he gave the condemned man 1 year to complete the improbable task. As the other prisoners watched the thief singing to the horse, they laughed. They said, "You will not succeed, and you will surely die, for no one can teach a horse to sing." To which the thief replied, "A year is a year. A lot can happen in 1 year. I could die, the king could die, the king's favorite horse could die. And who knows, perhaps the horse will learn to sing." This story is found in so many settings, perhaps, because it is such a poignant sketch of the human condition. If you are like me, throughout the year, the mocking cynicism of the surrounding prisoners rings familiar when they say, "You will not succeed, and you will surely die." Well, if success means a singing horse, they are probably correct. But it is clear in the response of the condemned man that they the situation. In fact, they are oblivious to the certainty that there is no difference between them and the condemned man in regards to the ultimate outcome. We are all born into a world with the sentence of death upon us. None of us are getting consciousness of time, which permits him to see what others cannot, and that is that time itself is a paramount gift. A year is a year. Why doesn't everyone have this consciousness? Why don't I have it most of the time? Our tradition teaches that our potential longevity deflects from our ability to be conscious of our true and finite nature. Psalm 90, the Psalm of Moshe, is recited every Shabbat and festival morning and reminds us our lives are over like a sigh. 70 our years may number, 80 if granted the vigor. Laden with trouble and travail, life quickly passes and flies away. Shabbat Shalom. 60 or 70 years does seem like a long time. Why does Scripture use a dark and regretful language to describe such spans? All of us know of people, family and friends, who were cut short from this full measure of years. And isn't that what the psalmist should tell us to be sad about? 80, 80, 20, nothing is guaranteed. While we surely want all that we can have, should we not be grateful for the potential of 25 or even 30,000 sunrises and sunsets? Our lives are over as a sigh? But longevity itself is a significant spiritual problem. The psalmist points out there's a tension between what we want and what our minds can apprehend. From the human perspective, numbers like 30,000 are close enough to infinity that we cannot perceive the difference. And so for most of our lives, we think that we will not ever die. The psalm reminds us that when we do not recognize that time is finite, when we do not have a consciousness of time, we can forget that we are alive. And then life really does fly away. I'm going to share with you something from a recent television series. Remember, I wrote this in 2011. So the show is from Britain. It's called Torchwood, Miracle Day. And the setup is very simple. Suddenly, no one dies. And of course, the punchline is that the cessation of death is a terrible problem. Remember Churchill's famous blessing, which my dad gave to Debbie and I at our wedding. May you have few problems, and may you have even fewer solutions. The death of death is a problem in terms of material resources, as there are more and more people, but never fewer, but more so in what it does to human psychology. All systems of values assume that choices are being made between options, and there is a zero-sum aspect to every human life. My efforts in a certain cause are valuable because I have a finite life to expend. And my expenditure, then by expending it on what I choose, I show what I believe to be important. If I were to have all the time in the world, if I didn't have to choose, what value is there in standing for one cause or one love in place of another? I have all the time in the world. A world without death, turns out, is a world without sacrifice, a world without choosing, and deteriorates very rapidly into a world without virtue. Perhaps the innovation of our tradition, perhaps one of the many gifts, perhaps one of the things that we are most appreciative of as we gather together every year, as the days shorten, and as we feel our own season perhaps shrinking, is that it permits us to have this consciousness of finitude throughout the year. Very simply, our tradition believes that a higher consciousness of time should not require a death sentence for thievery with a date or the connivance of or the connivance of something else. The entire project of Judaism is to remind us that we are alive without frightening us too much, without making us unduly anxious. We are instructed to take time out of every day to talk to God a few times, as we do at Minyan. We are taught to wash our hands with the intention of purification before we eat. We are trained to bless God for food and the good of our lives when we are full after every meal. We devote an entire day, Shabbat, each week to reminding ourselves that we are alive and that time is forever beyond our control. As the punchline of one of last year's Rosh Hashanah sermons put it, we might be able to wear a watch, but no one can keep time in their pocket. God, in his goodness, gives us the tools to elevate our consciousness of time and to enrich our lives. It is just for us. All we have to do is make the decision to pick them up and to wield them. At this time of the year and for these holidays, the striving for consciousness is more intense, and it can be a little bracing at times. We come close to the lot of the condemned prisoner when we chant, "Who by water and who by fire?" The tradition scares us a little bit because it believes that knowledge of mortality will shape our lives for the better. But on Rosh Hashanah, we match this confrontation of mortality with the possibilities of birth and of life. Rosh Hashanah is not just the day of judgment, but it is the birthday of the world. Rabbi Simchon Bunim had not one, but two pieces of paper in his pocket. Yes, I am dust and ash, but also Bishvili Nivra Ha'olam, for my sake, the world was created. The knowledge of limits on this day come to open our eyes to the possibilities of life and renewal. The whole project of these high holidays is to remind ourselves that our time is not forever, not just to torture us with existential angst, but in order to enrich our days with a deep sense of life and its possibilities. We lift our voices to God, asking above all, just for more time. Inscribe us in the book of life. Give us another turn. We know that it is not our lot to be renewed indefinitely. But a year is a year. And a lot can happen in a year. In a given year, who knows? Perhaps the horse will learn to sing. I hope that all of you come through this test with your equipment working well. I wish for all of us a sweet year, a year in which we move off Zoom and live stream back into our homes and into our buildings. A sweet year, Shana Tova. I will figure out how to do it. So for tomorrow, let's move it on to what the exit style. Yeah.
I am going to leave this up for another half hour so people can, if they weren't able to log in with the Zoom, I just sent an updated Zoom link to the congregation. So if you didn't get to test Zoom, I will leave this up for another half hour. So thank you. Thank you. In case you're just joining us, we're still testing our live stream. I'm leaving the Zoom link up for another half hour to make sure everybody can get in. I just sent an update to the congregation, so check your email if you're on, looking at this via YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. I'll also publish the, yeah. If you email me or text me, I'll try and send you the link right now. Thank you very much. If you just joined in, this is indeed working. We're just we're leaving it up for a little while to make sure you can get in.
Ryan? Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, you can. And we do. Sorry, I see a bunch of you just joined. Thank you very much for checking out the Zoom and making sure it works. It's a little weird. I'm watching it on my phone and there's about a 5-second delay. It's really odd.
Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Michael.
You know, your other links also, the ones for tomorrow night, I tried them all, and they all send you to Tashleek. They don't. They also need to be looked at.
Okay, I'll take a look at all those links and send out an update early in the morning.
Okay. And I'm hearing a background noise that sounds like water. Maybe it's the heating. I'm not sure what I'm hearing, but I wanted to let you know that there is a kind of white noise in the background.
Well, that's really interesting. The nice thing is this ends up being recorded on all the mediums we're testing it on, so we'll be able to review that. And I'm hoping it's just Zoom, but
Well, it's different than what I've experienced with Zoom. I'm on a lot of Zoom meetings these days, so
yeah, I think the difference is with this one is we're plugged into a sound system, and rather than just using like our computer or telephone audio.
so you may be getting some feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
This room has a lot of echo to it.
Now, I am planning to attend through Zoom. Is that going to be a problem for the services in any way?
No.
Oops.
Sorry, just switched up what we're using.
Oh, I see. Now that background noise is no longer there, so it must be feedback.
Yeah, I'm imagining it is. So I think it'll be better outside, but we'll have to work on perfecting this audio before tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, I am all thumbs when it comes to this kind of technology. So I admire what you're doing. It's like walking across the Himalayas.
Yeah, it's funny. I use Zoom all day long for work, and the minute you have to introduce it for something like this, it just suddenly seems to become a lot more complicated than. Oh gosh. Oh, we have some chats from people. Cool, they can. Good. So people have given us some updates on their audio.
Do you have enough people who are coming?
So far, we had a good number of people connect via Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
No, I mean people who are coming to attend the services on York
Oh,
Street?
yes. Yeah, we do. We have, I think we have at least a minion for each service, which is good.
Okay. Okay, that's if you find you need somebody, you can call me, or I'll come.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, if you're lacking a minion, we can't be lacking a minion.
Nope. Yeah,
Okay.
and,
Well, I'll leave you be. I don't think I can help you any.
no, you really have. I didn't realize that the link was broken until you and my wife said something. So it's,
Okay. Well, if there's any way I can be of more help, just I think do you have my phone number or no?
I do. Yeah, I do in the directory.
Okay. And just I'll be up for a while, and or tomorrow if I'm going to be home early in the morning and then later in the afternoon, or mid-afternoon, from mid-afternoon on. So if there's something, just I'm available is what I'm saying.
I really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, good. You know, Happy New Year.
You
Good.
too. Shana Tova.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Okay. Gonna shift this back to. If you're watching this, we're going to shift this around so you're not looking at the exit sign. Judy, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can definitely watch it on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter if you don't feel like signing up for Zoom. Um, if you've just joined us, I see some people have logged into Zoom. If you've just joined us, we're still testing this. We're leaving it up. Uh, it actually is live video of the lectern. It's not just standing there by itself, and it's not a still picture, I promise. I see Adam. Hello, Adam.
The audio over Facebook was okay.
Okay, good, good.
I couldn't check out the Zoom one, but Facebook was there. I'll be back in about 10.
Okay. I'm going to leave this up for another 20 minutes or so. Just make sure people can hear.
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Where are you?
I'm invisible.
Oh, no.
I'm actually sitting behind the camera. See, you can't see me.
Oh, boy. There you are. Whoa, what is that? I don't even know how my, we don't do video on this end, or no, can you?
You can, but
Look at this, bro.
oh man, now everybody's going to be able to see you.
Yeah, it's getting long.
So we're not going to enable video or audio
Right.
for people on Saturday, but or tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's makes sense. So it's gonna be on YouTube. I might just watch on YouTube because I feel like it'll be. I don't know. I've only used Zoom a couple times, and I don't know if it's gonna clog it up. I feel like being on YouTube would probably free up some space for others.
Yeah, and we're gonna.
Unless, I mean, YouTube has chat too. I guess I don't know. I might
Yeah,
bounce in and out.
we're not going to be monitoring the chat, but it definitely is there. So
Oh well, right. We're not even gonna be really. Well, yeah, different times.
yeah. So yeah, this is working pretty. I think aside from some little audio kinks, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds good from here. So, is the audio gonna be like piped in via mic, or how is it going to be just from the computer mic, or how is that going to work?
We have to amplify the service, so because of being outdoors, so we're going to have it piped in through a mic when it's outside, and again tomorrow night too.
So it should be better quality than picking it up from a PA system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'm out of here. So
Very good. Good to see you.
see ya.
If you're just joining us with the Zoom is working, so let me switch the microphone again. So if you've just joined us, the Zoom is working. You probably are able to watch us on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube. Those three links are in the email. We're going to send an updated email tomorrow with all the high holiday Zoom links just to make sure that they're all correctly timed with the correct invitations. I know there was some confusion tonight because attention to detail issues, I put it in as the 20th for the test instead of today. So, yoinks. But if you're seeing this, we're live streaming. Thank you. Yanni, live at the Acropolis. You know you like Yanni. Oh, I need a haircut. You gotta grow a ponytail. So if you're joining us on Zoom or on any of the other social media outlets, you are definitely seeing this live. So far as you know, if you watch it later, you're not watching it live. I go now. 15 more minutes. We'll leave this up. If you're just joining us on Zoom or on any of the services, it is indeed up and running. The time is 7 something. So 7:21. There you go. So we're going to leave it up for another 10 minutes just so you guys can test it. Circus here. I'll tell you what. We're going to leave this running for another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to shut it down. But if you have any questions, please do email me or give me a call tomorrow. I'll be around until 12:30, and then I'll be here. Let's see here. If you're just joining us, we're leaving this up for another couple of minutes, and then we're going to shut it down. But if you're seeing this, it's about 7:27, and I'm sure there's a little bit of latency by the time you'll hear that it's 7:27. But we are live. Thank you very much for joining us and testing your Zoom or whatever thing you're connecting to us via. Thank you. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us. If you did, you can view this on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter after the fact. There is the rabbi recorded a message earlier for the first half hour of this. He gave a very good little devar about the season. So please do check that out on Facebook, YouTube, at Chavruta at CBI, or Twitter. And thank you very much and have a great evening.